Rightly. We've heard the insiders now. We've heard the Alan Kyerematen reason for going. And then we're now hearing from, Kojo Pini, who says, yeah, there are real, genuine issues. The party disagrees with that. Be it that as it may. You've heard Kojo Pini say that it's very likely others may follow him. He himself, he hasn't decided whether he will join him on the campaign trail or not. That says a lot, right, about where the NPP is at this time.
Of course, I mean, the party is not in a good position, at least for what they want to, especially going into the elections. You have a colossus, one of the founding, members of the party pulling away. Now, there are so many ways that people actually get connected to a political party. Obviously, central of it is the ideology, the party's programs, its traditions, but also personalities. Of course, we hear Nkrumahism, you hear Dombo, you hear Dankwa. These are personalities that people believe in their leadership trait, in their leadership characters. And so there are quite a lot of people that I suppose are also connected to the political party because of Alan Kyerematen's personality, his leadership, his beliefs, etc. And so certainly once he bows out of the party, you're likely to have others actually following suit, especially if you look at his track record, coming up to this stage. He had actually contested the flag bearership race over a long period of time. So it stands to reason that he probably had actually used a machinery. He's actually created a machinery that actually had mobilized and organized people in this country over the long period of time, particularly in Ashanti region, which is the NPP's stronghold. Now, if he leaves, certainly you're going to have quite a lot of people leaving. That is not to say that they're going to be in droves, because, of course, people have so many reasons connecting to a political party. It is difficult for you to have true and true, party people deserting the party and then following you. But you're going to have quite a number of people also significantly following because of the candidate, the personality, and other kind of leadership qualities that he brings to the table. And so I feel that, yes, it's going to be significant in terms of its impact on NPP. But also nationally, you're going to have people who probably might have actually toyed with just similar ideas, but had never been able to boldly execute it. Now, when there's a precedence, then of course, you're actually giving some signals to people that, look, you can do it. And so for me, I think fundamentally, it speaks to, again, some impact nationally. Now, as to whether he could master that particular opportunities, in terms of votes, we'll live to see. But certainly he had actually impacted maybe the foundations of this particular country in terms of democratic practices, going forward.
Yeah, but yes, the man has left. But is the moment there that then combines with the decision to leave that takes him into a place where he can significantly affect the outcome of the 2024 elections? We just illustrated the 2000 scenario where Guzitano had over 1%, and we saw the runoff scenario there. The incumbent party seeking to break the 8 lost the elections there. Is Alan in a position to do that to the NPP next year?
Evan, there's a moment. I mean, those instances or those events that we talked about are things that happened when we didn't have social media. I'm sure you now have a huge social media presence. Those days, you would have to invite me, as you have done, for you to have a political voice, or you would have to actually go on a demonstration before you can have a political voice, especially on the path of the youth. Today, a lot of young people can sit in their homes and even make political communication go viral, the extent that even the media houses are not able to do. And so the moment, I mean, the period is completely different. The dynamic is completely different. Again, you're talking about, an individual who is from a significant constituency. I mean, if you take somebody like Guzitano, for example, Guzitano, I don't think that was well connected to his constituency, especially where he's coming from. I don't think that he actually had the kind of clout that Alan has. And so these are some of the differences. The times have changed. Now you have quite a lot of young people who crave for a certain third force. And it's not only coming from young people. You hear it in the corridors of the workplaces. You hear it on Twitter Spaces, especially if you had been listening to Twitter Space. I mean, I am on Twitter Space most of the time. You hear quite a lot of young people talking about a certain belief that there can be, something in the middle of the two giants. Of course, you had Nigeria happening. The Obi's story, people have quite followed it strongly. And so there is some kind of moment that you would think that, yes, people perhaps would want to have something other than the two giants, NDC and NPP. Whether that could be translated into a strong electoral fortunes, I think it depends massively on the campaign that he wages, because campaigns have effect. Now, if he wages a very strong, competitive, compelling campaign with a compelling message and with a kind of, credibility that he has, and with a kind of vigor that he could actually present to the young people, I think that could make an impact. But that is all what ifs, or what kind of scenarios that we wait to see whether he could pull it.
I mean, Dr. Makuba, there are a lot of ifs and buts here. I mean, but the history doesn't favor him. Yes.